doing the thing, I'm being the boss, I'm getting the goals, I'm contacting the people I need. But did you rest? Did you remember to sit down and receive blessings? Did you remember to receive gratitude? Did you remember to see, like, how did you sit? We sit in that masculine, that hyper overdrive, and we want balance, we want unity, we want harmony. How are we providing space for that within ourselves? If we're too overdrive masculine, how are we bringing into harmony our feminine? How are we playing? How are we learning? So a lot of us are still kind of in that teeter-totter, not quite stable yet, because we can't quite figure out that integration between rest and work. Yeah. So let's see. Hopefully all of that made sense and wasn't just garble. I guess it's also balancing, like, how are you balancing your ethereal, like your spiritual world antenna with the earth antenna? Like, we want to come into balance with someone else, but if we don't have the finances, we just have ideas, how can we offer a space for someone else to come in and help bring in finances and provide? I'm not for certain. Maybe that was too much. Take time to rest, I guess, is the biggest part. When you've gone through Four of Swords, heartbreaks, betrayals, pains, take time to rest. The whole world, and this is the whole world, but the whole world is resetting, rechanging, moving in positive directions. Take that time right now to reflect and visit your past emotions. Six of Cups is looking at the past kind of with nostalgia, and don't look at with nostalgia like anger, look at with nostalgia like how can we course correct and do better next time, and or what lesson can we learn from that. King of Wands, this will have you sitting in that masculine, fiery, passionate, I know what I want, I'm the king of the jungle, and that will truly bring in, but it'll be like a soft embodiment King of the Wands. I'm the king of the jungle and I know what I want. It'll be that, like, it's not always about work. Some of it has to be about play and leisure. One thing we can learn from those masculine Leos is how do they goof off? How do they rest? How do they let off steam? Because they're really good at that. So that will bring in 10 of Cups. Love, happiness, stability, family, happily ever after. 10 of Cups is like the emotional, sweet, like, yeah, we did it. That's all, folks. Then though, you have to imagine what is after 10 of Cups. If you want 10 of Cups, like, what does it feel like the day after the 10 of Cups? Like, if you were to get married, what does married feel like? Life feel like? You have to envision what you want, but also envision what it feels like after that fact. Like, when you have this brand new car, okay, what does it smell like when you're driving around in it? Where are you going to? Who's sitting next to you? What songs are you listening to? What roads are you driving down? You want this beautiful life, but how are you imagining and envisioning a space for it? When you hold on to all of the things in the past that didn't work for you, you're trying to build a future based off the driver's seat of a past version. You can't do that. Like, we fail to realize our manifestations or our wishes because we can't imagine what it actually feels like. We can only imagine what the old feel like. Well, this is where you have to be brave to be like, okay, I'm going to try something new and imagine what a life would feel like without the old pain or the old drama or the old baggage. Like, imagine what life would look like if everything ran perfectly. That's how you build beautiful, beautiful. And again, just letting go, let go of the chaos, let go of the pain, let go of the heartbreak, the sore, like the mental mind games. Don't. And then Six of Wands. So this is victory. You're riding off into success after you've been through the trials, the tribulations, the ringer. Don't keep playing around in places that cause you to feel heartbroken. So yeah, okay. The tower comes in to clean the slate, just ultimate decimation. The ground gives out. Tower is Scorpio energy and Pluto energy, and that's like everything must go. There's nothing left. You're just gonna have to move on. So you may have experienced a tower. You may have a tower kind of coming up. They're not anything to be scared of. It's just, okay, how do we reset the field and start with something new? Four of Wands. When you allow the tower, you allow to let go of the old. Four of Wands, you'll find happiness, stability. Yeah. When I think Four of Wands, we think house, like walls to the home. So 4 walls to each home. Thinking of counterparts, 4 of Wands is you each bring 2 parts of yourself. You bring your masculine and your feminine. So each person, when you're in a partnership, has 2 sides. So 4 of Wands is how are each sides of you, your masculine and your feminine polarity, bringing happiness and stability to the home. Now, if one of you is like imbalanced in your masculine or your feminine, then it can disrupt the whole dynamic of the relationship and your stability. So let the towers clear away the things that no longer work so that you can build a new foundation with stability. Yeah. Queen of Wands and 9 of Wands. So we'll say 9 of Wands, we're putting down those burdens. We're like, you know what, I can't do it anymore. You're letting yourself go. You're like, okay, I've put in all that hard work. Queen of Wands, you've put in the hard work. You've put in the passion. 9 of Wands is if the foundation came in and got completely wiped out by a tower moment, I have to let that go. I have to know that I did all the work that I could and rebuild a stable foundation. So Queen of Wands, you're saying in your passionate energy to understand that I'm going to get exactly what I want. I can walk away from things that no longer serve me. I don't need to keep entertaining things that don't fill my cup and don't leave me content. Because if I'm not content, why am I going to stay here? If I put in all this work and it's not working, then why entertain it any longer? King of Wands brings in counterpart energy. So you could be sitting in either your King and Queen of Wands energy. That can also be your counterpart. And having them paired together, especially with all this wand energy, it's like whoever is with you or whoever is next to you, they're going to be just as passionate, just as headstrong, also just as caring and cultivating of that passion. So move forward in the faith that whoever is next to you, they're equally yoked to you. And again, that could be just you sitting in your energy of being both King and Queen of Wands. So, and that's beautiful too. You're like, I am the King and the Queen. So I put those cards back in 4 of Wands. So speaking to happy home, happy harmony, happy and harmonious. It comes after struggles and it comes after heartaches. And just knowing that all of those heartaches, when you sit back a week from now or 2 weeks from now and you're like, oh, all those things I was worrying about, I don't even remember what they were 2 weeks ago. But in 2 months when you sit back and you're like, I am not sitting in the same location I was 2 months ago, and I didn't think I could make it then, but look how far I've come in 2 months. So don't forget to congratulate yourself for coming this far and to continue going this far, and know that all of this is temporary. Everything's changing if you're willing to grow. So it's you've done the hard work though. 8 of Pentacles, financially, you've sown the seeds that you can sow. You've done the work. Relax, breathe, rest, drink water, meditate, by all means. Alright, 4 of Wands. This is not having all of your cups filled, not letting people drain your cups anymore. Because Queen of Swords, using discernment. Use discernment. Queen of Swords gets a bad rap. She's known as the Queen of Divorce or the Queen of Death. the Widow Queen. And we get a bad rap, but it's like Queen of Swords, when we decide we're done with energy, we're like, you know what, this is like and I've had this happen with vices where I'll be like, okay, I'm done today, and then it'll happen. But Queen of Swords is using that, like, this no longer serves me, I'm done playing in this, let's go. So never be afraid to cut off the things that are draining your cup. And I've learned also, don't sit around and argue with people about how it's draining you, because they know it's draining you. They have eyes, they can see. If they can't see, then do they really need to be in your life? Like, I would go out with friends and they would want me to financially take care of something. It was like, or they would be like oblivious right when it was time to come to pay. And it was like, hey man, you saw that I couldn't find my card, or I couldn't find my card that worked, or this, that, and the other thing, and you just completely like ignored it. Like, you completely looked away, and I was like, yeah, that's not, you knew I was having a hard time, and you completely ignored that whole part so you didn't have to see it. And it's like, that doesn't mean that you love me. Two of Swords, making those tough decision calls to say, hey, it's gotta go. I love with Two of Swords, we always say it's like a stalemate. Like, it could go one way or the other, or you have to cut something off, you have to make a hard decision. But it's like, yeah, you know what? Make it really as easy as yes or no. Like, if it's a yes, let it be a yes with every soul, like, fiber in your being. If it's a no, let it be like a no. Don't waffle between on or off. Like, you have to commit, so pick one path and go that way. Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes I'll get in like a hard little spot and I'll be like, do I this? And it's like, when you start building, you're like, there's no decision. You have to just pick a side and do it. Because to go back and forth constantly is too much. So, Two of Swords, make your decisions, stand on it. Temperance, have balance, patience. Sagittarius energy. Temperance is having patience and balance, knowing that it's all going to work out. There's both sides to both coins. Like, Temperance, in life there's moderation. We can talk about Anubis and how with Anubis and weighing your heart against the weight of a feather. And what it's saying is, not were you pure of heart, but when you had a chance to choose good or bad, which did you choose? Like, you had bad circumstances. Did you choose to be good, or did you choose to be bad? Or, you know. So Temperance is that whole, how do you find that balance in life? Like, were you justified? Was it justified? Maybe you need to have patience and see how it all works out. Let it all unfold the way it needs to. Let's see. All right. Hi, I'm Lara Joe, SirenSong Lover. Should you wish to book a reading, you can go to SirenSongLover@yahoo.com and email me. You can always sew into my ministry at Cash App at Siren, capital S, Song, capital S, Lover, capital L. Five of Swords, again, just talking about conflicts got to change. It's got to change. You got to have some wrath there. You can't keep fighting away. Fighting at fights that aren't for you. And again, Temperance, have patience, have balance with yourself, with everything around you. Everything is changing rather rapidly at the moment in the universe, and it's causing a lot of judgment. A lot of people that were casting judgment maybe unfairly in the past are now starting to see that they weren't right. Like, a lot of people, a lot of things came out over the weekend, and it was like, yeah, you thought it was this way, and then now that everyone's mask was revealed, like, you cast that judgment unfairly. So the conflict, the judgment, it's got to be stopped. That's heavy Libra energy. We are in Libra season. Hello, Libra Queen. Yeah, so we're in our season. Everything's got to go. And if the universe didn't say that with all the eclipses happening, all of the political unrest, like, they did today. So, alright, let's see what other... I like to watch how things layer between the political atmosphere and my personal life. The underbelly, with the earth, like, you just kind of layer it all together, and then you're like, this is all kind of happening how it's supposed to on all the different planes, but it's also hard to watch because a lot of people don't know what's happening. And a lot of people are going to start seeing things that they don't understand or didn't believe before that are now going to start coming forward, and they're going to be like, oh, that person told us that 5 years ago and they were telling us the whole time and no one believed them. So, yeah, there's a lot of weirdness happening in the world where a lot of people are truly starting to see things for what they are. So, we weren't all crazy. We all knew. 3 of Cups, there's been betrayals, heartbreak, deception. 3 of Cups will talk to celebrations and parties. It also talks to, again, like interference, like people being in the way. And a lot of people are, again, starting to see that as like the ones that they thought were the culprit. They look back and they say, wait. They were in a group and that one was by herself or his self. Like, there's a lot of that too. The people that ganged up together and thought they were like the mean girls. That's all becoming very exposed too. So, 2024 has definitely been a year of revealing a lot of information to and for and about people. So that's been something. Yeah. And a lot of the predictions I made years ago about people are just now starting to be seen. So that's really funny too. They tried to say, oh, that's not what's happening, or that didn't go on. And then they deny. They hid it for so long. And then it became obvious and apparent. You're like, I was right. You should have told me then instead of making this even worse. Like Page of Wands. So kind of charging forward, fiery, maybe misinformed or not equipped to handle affairs that are not meant for them. So this is kind of like that petty, childish, immature, squabbling energy. Want to fight about everything. The Fool. Again, just protect your peace. If they start squawking at you, turn your back and say, you know what, that's okay. Because your peace is not worth your financial instability. It's not worth the mental heartbreak, pain. Just release yourself. Not worth it. Not worth it. All right. Let's see if there's any other cards that want to pop out from here. I keep seeing a leaf like in the window and I keep thinking it's like a bird or a lizard or something. So financial instability. Stop playing mind games with people that don't have the capacity to understand what you need to be doing or going or anything like that. So let's see. Okay. Page of Cups. You have to get in your emotions. You have to start figuring out what you want in your cup, what will bring you happiness, what satisfies those emotions. 6 of Cups. So going back to your foundations, what did you learn was the pattern of love, and is that something you want to continue on? So if you're Page of Cups, you're like, say you're 26 and you're trying to drink from like a sippy cup, maybe you need to be going back to look at like what at that age made me feel like I needed love that was motherly or childlike, or I don't know. That was a weird analogy, I guess. Like, I've seen some grown men and women that I'm like, how old were you acting again? Because you kind of were acting... I love that those ones came out. Okay, so when you stop acting, like when you start healing your childhood wounds, you start filling your cup with the right things. 2 of Cups, union, happiness. This is sharing of lives. Knight of Pentacles, you'll build your abundances slow You've done the emotional work. You've done the healing. You've done all you can. 8 of Cups. You've sown all that you can. And Ace of Pentacles. So start figuring out what your childhood core wounds about love and emotions and money are. And you'll start healing those wounds around union and happiness. And yes, it's slow, it's tedious, but that's how we get there. Slow and steady wins the race. And we often underestimate, like, we want everything so much, like, right now, but, like, put that big goal of what you want in your heart, like, dream big, but then know that you have to put in little steps every day. Like, if you want to be a tarot reader, you have to know, like, okay, like, I'm going to be a tarot reader one day, and you can make that proclamation. But if you don't even have a deck of cards, you have to build up to it. You have to, say, okay, this is what I want. And then you start telling your friends about, like, hey, this is what I want to start doing. And then your friends say, hey, I think that's a really good idea. Or even if they don't, even if people tell you, like, oh, I don't think that's an idea. Do they really have any authority over your life to say, no, you can't do that thing, or you shouldn't do that? Like, the people that tear on you the most are typically the people that don't have anything going on in their life. Like, the ones that want to tear you down for how hard you're working or you never come out, that's because they're too busy. They're too busy, like, watching you and not actually doing anything with their life. The Lovers, this brings in happiness, love, stability, Gemini energy. How are you this evening? Hopefully the energy in the world is treating you right. Not picking that up. I'm getting along. The world's a little weird. King of Cups. Sitting in that embodiment, those emotions. Are you sitting in, like, the balanced emotions? Or are you sitting in those, like, I don't know what I want to do with my life emotions? Yeah. Do you have direction in your life? Page of Wands, you're figuring it out. You're just trying to figure out what is coming, like what you want, where you're going, what your passions are. King of Swords, you're going to have to cut away things that do not serve your highest purpose, though. So if you just got out of college and you're like, I don't know what I want to do, you need to at least know, like, what you don't want to do, and then use that sword to, like, cut that away. Be like, okay, I know that I don't want this. We can take that off the block for what we're going to do with life. So. Alright, let's see. Page of Pentacles, you're going to slowly build those coins. It takes time. Page of Pentacles, so slowly building coins, slowly building investments. 9 of Wands, you have to put down those heavy burdens that are not yours, though. Those responsibilities that aren't yours, put them down. That thing that your family wanted you to do, walk away from it. It's not for you. You have to live your own life. Live your happiness. Decide what you want. Yeah. Okay, so when you say, I'm going to do something, I want something, the universe will provide the way. Like, I had a story a few weeks ago. I was like, I'm feeling down. I want to go get a new deck of cards, but I want to keep it under a certain amount of time, or under a certain amount. It was like a little treat for myself. I said I wanted to keep it under a certain amount. I got there, it was less expensive than what I thought it was going to be because there wasn't a discount. And then I got coffee, which was a treat, and I saw someone that was like, oh, that might be someone I know. So the universe will start opening those floodgates. When you say, I want this, the universe will say, okay, done, it's yours. So you gotta be saying, it's mine. That new job is mine. That new car is mine. That new house is mine. What does it feel like to drive to that new job in that new car from your new house? Like, that's, don't say I hope so. Say it's going to be mine. What does it feel like? What does it smell like? What's the temperature like in the car? So. let's see. The Tower. So you're going to have to, so Tower is letting go of those things that are not for you. The Tower is letting go of old identities, old jobs, old people, old patterns, old lifestyles, clothes, anything that does not fit where you want to go, let it go. Let the Tower clean that out. That's heavy Scorpio energy. That's letting everything fall and then seeing what's left over to pick up from. It's terrifying, but we're all in kind of like a free fall in the universe, in the world right now. So letting it happen. Just know that a lot of things are happening that no one can control. So breathe, rest, drink your water, meditate. Wheel of Fortune. The wheel spins in your favor when you're willing to step forward and take participation. So when you're willing to say, like, I'm willing to play, and you spin the wheel, it'll spin in your favor. You just gotta be willing to play. Keep going. Keep growing. Keep expanding. Don't get stuck. That is the biggest thing. When we get stuck in stagnation, then we get stuck forever. So if you sit down for too long, you'll get stuck. Don't do that. Queen of Wands. Know what you want. Be passionate. Be bold. Step forward. Beautiful. This is a beautiful, beautiful energy. And 10 of Pentacles. It'll bring financial success, wealth, stability, abundance. So when you just got out of college and you're like, okay, my life is now my own, my life is new, I get to move in whatever direction I want to or need to. So while it's scary to not know where you're going or where you're going to be working, it's also a new way to write a new chapter. So yeah, I don't know what's going on, what's going to happen next, but I know it's going to be big because I worked really hard to get here. So yeah. Ace of Wands. Again, following those things that bring you happiness. 3 of Wands. It's tedious. It's time consuming. 8 of Cups. Putting in the work. You've put in the work. You've put in the hard emotional work. Again, just, yeah, we get there. King of Cups. Sitting in that embodiment, that emotions of just, you know what you want, you're gonna get it. 7 of Cups. You do have to choose your options wisely, though. Not every cup is filled with something you want. So 7 of Cups, you have to use discernment. You have to know what you want. And then it's gonna bring in endings. Not everyone's gonna be happy. You may not be happy, but it does have to bring in closing of chapters and cycles. So Death being the Scorpio card, and just rebirth, transformation. So a lot of heavy water energy, a lot of heavy energy, but a lot of heavy, like, use your emotions, know what fuels your passion, and be willing to move forward when it gets really hard, because the only place to go from rock bottom or like zero is up. Like, people get so scared, they're like, I don't know how I'm gonna move forward. Well, now you got rid of all that stuff you were carrying on your back. The only place you can go is to the top. Like, that was it. So be willing to let things go that no longer serve you or your family or your happiness or your life. Okay. Temperance, using patience and balance. Using patience and balance. Again, Sagittarius energy. And 9 of Swords, letting go of those cycles, those burdens, saying enough is enough. I can't do this any longer. It's brave to do. It's hard to do. So let's see what other. I'm going to hop into the Kipper for a minute. I have to pick that up off the phone. Alright, let's see what cards are in here.